I'm doing this video by request. A good friend of mine he goes by the YouTube handle of Steve G, and he mentioned in the Discord uh, how this defense would compare to some of the greatest defenses that I've witnessed while being a fan of OU. So I'm going to try to break it all down into one lump sum, so to speak, and uh, and give you my 2 cents on it. Let's start the show.
Through 153 games, our record was 125, 24, 4, 2 now. People don't know what it is to be champions. Oklahoma invented it.
Well, welcome. If you're a fan of college football, and more especially our beloved Oklahoma Sooners, you are definitely in the right place. I'm your host, Mike the Legend of Sooner Legends Podcast. And before we begin, if you're new to the channel, hit that red subscriber button, turn on your post notification bells. That way you won't miss any content I'll be dropping. And also, can you give me a like? And also, can you share the video, because sharing is caring? Okay, as I mentioned in the intro to my video, a good friend of mine, Steve G. Thank you for the request, by the way, Steve G. He wanted me to do a video on how this 2024 defense compares to some of the greatest defensive players and defenses that I've witnessed since I've been following the Sooners since 71. So, well, for the 2024 squad, you got I'm not going to go by position. I'm going to go by name, and then I'll throw in the comparison. You got PJ starting at the defensive line. You got PJ Adebayorway, Ethan Downs, R. Mason Thomas, Trace Ford, Grayson Helton, and then you throw in the 2024 class of last year with David Stone, Nigel Smith II, Jaden Jackson, Danny Okoye. Now these guys, the new recruits hasn't got any playing time yet. But what I'm seeing with this defensive line is it has potential. Strong word there, potential. I'm not on the boat yet, but this defensive line has the potential to be not a carbon copy, but almost as good as my favorite Oklahoma Sooner squad of the 1974 first edition national championship team for Barry Switzer when we was on probation. And some of the defensive linemen we had, y'all know them: Dewey Selman, Leroy Selman, Lucius. He graduated in 73, but I still throw him in the mix. Jimbo Elrod. By the end of the 75 season, OU, just on that defensive line only, had 3 All-Americans, consensus, and an Outland Trophy winner. You had Dewey Selman and Jimbo Elrod, who were consensus All-Americans, and then you had Leroy Selman, consensus All-American, Outland Trophy winner. So what I'm seeing with this defense, as far as the line is concerned, going into next season, they have that potential to be as great as that 1974 defense, which was a doggone good one. Now, like I said, I know what the capability is. We've all seen Stone. We've seen them. We've seen them. I'm just stating the potential's there. And as far as the linebacker core goes, which right now we know Danny Stutzman is our spark plug in that linebacker core room. He's not all the way there yet, but he gives me some Brian Bosworth vibes. But one thing that Brian had on Danny, if you go back and watch Brian Bosworth when he played at OU, there wasn't a linebacker in the country who could anticipate a snap count and be in that backfield as soon as the ball was snapped, which Brian was a middle linebacker. That he was what they call the quarterback of the defense. And Stutzman's not the middle linebacker. That's Jaron Canick. Now, Jaron's going to have to see me. He's going to have to show me more. But I'm in a agreement with Jay that this will be a Stutz-like year for Jaron Canick. I can't go there with him. But he's trying to hit that with him and Stutz. They're trying to hit that Brian Bosworth, Paul Miliazzo level. But as we watched Jaron Canick, I mean, he had some flashes, and then he had some plays that was just like, oh my God, what in the world are you doing, son? Now, Kip Lewis and Kobe McKenzie, of what I've seen of them guys, they're giving me Rod Choate and George Cumbie vibes. And if y'all go back and watch them old days of George Cumbie and Rod Choate, they were, I swear to God, if they were linebackers in today's ball club, they'd go to jail for as hard as they hit. And I'm getting vibes off of, I'm getting Rod Choate and George Cumbie vibes off of Kip Lewis and Kobe McKenzie. I'm hoping with his last name and he plays at that next level. I'm pushing, if there's one linebacker that I'm really, really pushing for to get to the Paul Miliazzo level, well, there's two of them. It's either Phil Picciotti or Michael Boganowski. I hope that, because if y'all remember back in the 80s, you had Paul Miliazzo and Brian Bosworth as the key linebacker core with Donnie Jones backing them up. And for every play that Brian made, Miliazzo was in on there. So that's my 2 cents on the linebacker core. As far as the secondary, you got Woody Washington, Billy Bowman, Peyton Bowen, Kanai Walker, Kendall Dobie, Makari Seatbelt Vickers. Them guys and guys, don't hate me for this. Roy will always be my number 2 safety. God bless him. Roy Williams was a hell of a safety, the best in the 2000 era. And them guys has given me that flash. But the flash I'm getting, especially with out of Bowen and Peyton Bowen, I'm getting a little bit of Zach Henderson, Randy Hughes, Ricky Dixon, Rayburn, David Vickers. I'm getting them vibes from them too, and especially Sonny Brown, because back when Sonny played in the 80s, especially in the big games like Texas and OU, Sonny Brown always had a key moment in that game, a key interception, maybe not a pick six, but an interception at the key moment that switched the tide of that game. And Billy Bowman gives me that flash. Like last year, for example, the 100-yard pick six against BYU, the 62 or something yard pick six against TCU, the pick six against Tulsa. Bowman he went straight out and balled. And they're giving me a hybrid Roy Williams, Zach Henderson, like the guys I mentioned. So there's my take. This team, in my opinion, is shaping up and has the potential to be like that 74 national championship team where they went undefeated. Now, are they going to do it this year? Guys, I'm not going to pump any sunshine on this channel. It wouldn't surprise me if OU goes 10-2 next year, but I'm pumping the brakes and I'm keeping it down. I'm going to say 8-4 or 9-3 for next season. That's just to keep my expectations in check. Now, come along let's like say we go through our season and after we play Auburn and we're undefeated at that point, I want to say, yeah, this is going to be a 10-2. 10-2 easy, maybe 11-1. But we're just going to have to see, guys. They haven't played a game yet. We're just going to have to. But like I said, I could very well see OU going 10-2. But I'm just keeping my expectations levels in check. 8-4 floor, 9-3 ceiling. So there you go, Steve G. I hope that kind of was what you're looking for. Appreciate the request. And guys, if y'all have any requests, I'm in Unfair Sports and Hall of Fame Media's Discord. Send me a request. I'm the DJ. I take requests. And I'll be happy to do it for you. I did one for Coop on Antonio Perkins, and I just now did one for Steve G. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm so happy for those who tuned into my live broadcast a little bit ago. I got my errands run. Thank y'all for tuning into that. Thank y'all for tuning into this episode. This is the legend. We'll see you on the backside. God bless, and Boomer Sooner.
Through 153 games, our record was 125, 24, 4, 2 People don't know what it is to be champions.